Hey everyone, Giacomo here and welcome to a brand new AmpHub update. Today we're focusing on 3 iconic overdrives that just dropped inside AmpHub, each with its own personality, flavor and history. Let's check them out. The first news is the VOD Model 250 that is based on a DoD Overdrive preamp 250. And of course we have the simplest control of the hertz, so gain and level. Then we have the VOD Model 308 that of course is based on a DoD Ingui J Malmsteen 250. That's it, and once again gain and level controls. And then we have the Void Lab Spark OD that is based on a Voodoo Lab Sparkle drive. This pedal is quite different because it features of course gain, tone and volume knobs, but it also features a blend control for the clean tone, so we can blend the drive tone with the clean tone, and we'll see in a bit what we can do with this pedal. Let's start with the VOD Model 250. This is a raw, made-post overdrive that defined the sound of late 70s and 80s rock. It's not about subtlety, this one's about punch, grit and amp-pushing aggression. I really enjoyed playing with this pedal, and let's hear the first sample. As you've seen, I started with a crunchy riff and then I moved into a short kind of lead. What I loved about the DoD 250 is how it naturally pushes the amp without coloring the tone too much. The mids are really focused and present, it just cuts right through the mix. You still hear the amp's character of course, and that's why I love this pedal, but it has that extra edge and clarity that makes both rhythm and lead parts really come alive. It's great for classic rock, for hard rock, or just adding hair to a clean tone that maybe needs a little bit of magic to shine. Now let's talk about the VOD Model 308. This is the Malmsteen signature version of the 250 that is voiced a bit tighter and brighter than the 250. Malmsteen used to ram this pedal into a cranked Marshall with gain all the way down and level all the way up. I will not play some kind of proper Malmsteen things because it's not my cup of tea. I almost play like some lead tones over a nice wide pad. To show you some lead tones, of course I use a bit of harmonic minor, but this was like implied in the usage of this kind of pedal, but I really like this pedal too. I think that for lead tones it's really amazing. And by the way, I'm running it with this setting of gain and level, and I'm boosting a J800 lead series, so basically a JCM 800 with these knobs. Of course you'll find all my presets into the AmpHub update, so you can play with them and see what happens. Let's hear the second sample. As I told you, for this one I went for a lead line over a pad just to highlight one of the classic ways this pedal shines, boosting a Marshall style amp for the tight, articulate lead response that it can have. It really has that signature presence and sharp attack without mudding things up, without being too bright, so I think it reacts just beautiful under the fingers and I really enjoyed it. Of course, as I said before, it can also work great as a clean boost for rhythms or edge of breakup tones. It works great on bass tones as well, just save this tip for your personal usage, but for all this kind of use I personally lean more toward the 250 because I think it has a bit more grit and mid-range growl. So between the two I'm mostly for the 250, but the 308 I think is great for everything around lead tones. And now let's move for something a little bit more refined. We have this Void Lab Sparkle D that, as we said, is based on a Voodoo Lab Sparkle Drive. Let's think about Tube Screamer, but with a twist. So the clean knob, as we said, lets you blend the dry signal in, so you keep your natural dynamics of your playing while still getting the smooth OG curve. In my opinion, this is one of the best pedals when you want to add some character to a sound. So you might need to add some drive, but when you add some drive, it kind of starts to feeling too much drive, or maybe it's starting to feel a little bit muddy, because of course every drive is compressing the whole thing, and it basically limits your dynamic range. With this pedal we can basically add the clean signal back in the tone, and I think this is really useful for a lot of things. I'll let you hear what I played with this pedal. So I played around quite a bit with the clean knob, and you can really hear how it helps shape the tone. I mean, for those moments where you want a dirtier sound but still need clarity and definition, that blend control is really a game changer. Really, it's something that previously we might need to do with, parallel processing or complex stuff, in the analog real world. The Voodoo Lab pedal solved this problem in its own way, of course, in the Voodoo Lab family with this pedal, but it's so cool to have it now on AmpHub too, to make us, of course, happy to have another great tool for shape our sound. Another cool thing about this Sparkle D is that it keeps everything tight and articulate even when things get more saturated. For lead parts too, as you heard, it really helps you sculpt a more focused tone, so a more precise, focused and articulate tone, whether you're going for something soft or heavier or more melodic or aggressive or punchy. This clean blend really helps you finding the right tone for that specific part. It just stays clear, and that's what makes it usable in so many contexts. The limit is just our time to explore all these different options we have inside AmpHub and these new clean options inside the Sparkle D. So just to summarize which one you should use, and of course every choice we make in the guitar world is totally subjective, but in my opinion the 250 is pretty useful for dirty rhythm tones, for riffs, for boosting an already dirt amp to add more bite. I think it's a classic 70s and 80s rock machine. The 308 is a precise tool for lead players, in my opinion, especially when boosting Marshall style amp or mid-gain amps, single channel amps that have that Brit voice so especially focused on mid frequencies, this pedal is really great. And the Spark OD, I think it's like the best choice for clean platforms. I usually ran into like Fender style amps, because in my opinion, like being based on a TS style pedal, kinda, the Fender is a bit scooped in the mid, the TS at the mid, so I'm kinda like even these two different characters, but with the addition of the clean knob, I can really like add some particular and like studio clarity. Let's call it studio clarity in my opinion. Or anyone who want to preserve dynamics when playing arpeggios, clean parts, but as you've heard also lead tones, this pedal is really a great choice. And that's it for this update. All three of these pedals are available now inside AmpHub. Just head over to the STL Tones website, download this latest update and start exploring. As always, have fun, experiment. We have really a lot of tools inside AmpHub. Month by month the collection is like growing so much and so fast. So we have a lot of things. Have fun, experiment, let us know in the comments how are you using them in your setup, and I'll see you in the next video.